I'm Jake, and this is Neverland
Neverland
Navigation
Navigation
Radio,
Radio.
where we crawl into the spookiest corners of our mind and we imagine what it would be like if we had some more Halloween spooky time themed stuff around Walt Disney World.
Yeah, because we might.
Yeah, and 'tis the season
Yes.
to be creative and to be spooky. We both love Halloween,
Uh-huh.
one of our favorite holidays for sure. Obviously, Morgan, Christmas is king
hmm
with Morgan, but I honestly think that there's something about Halloween that I really think is special because it puts an emphasis on like creativity and you get to pick your own costume
Sure,
and
yeah.
that kind of thing. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
agree.
fun.
I love Halloween.
Yeah, and I think Halloween is pretty it's just very Disney to me. Like
Yeah.
the way I've always had Disney Halloween like specials and stuff going on in my house since I was a kid.
Yes. Well, I would much rather Disney Halloween than scary,
Oh,
terrifying.
same.
I can't go to those parks that have the jump scares and
Like a certain Universal Studios.
yeah, or the other one.
um, Gush Gardens.
Good job.
Wow, that was tough.
I was like, I'm not even gonna try this.
Took my brain a second to get there. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. You like the family,
Yes.
fun, costume centric focus of the Mickey's Not So Scary.
I do, and I think it
I
works
agree.
for all ages. I don't think it's like just for little kids.
And that's something they really have to think about.
Yes.
That's their whole demographic.
Yeah.
Is family fun.
Right, because Busch Gardens just started doing a family friendly Halloween thing as well as their very scary adults,
Right.
thing. But it's like, bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, the fall air.
Yeah. But their family friendly Halloween thing that Busch Gardens has going on is very at like toddlers and very, very young kids.
Right.
So for me, they don't have anything for me.
Right. This is a little bit more. There's something for everybody, you think?
I do. Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. Well, good news. We're not talking about that. We're
Mhm.
talking about Halloween in general, and if we feel that there's Halloween stuff across the Disney catalog of media that we feel should creep its way out of the darkness and into the parks, because we're talking about the parks on this podcast, and sometimes we like to delve into our own imaginations and see what we could envision in a perfect, in a perfect world where we're armchair Imagineers bringing
Yeah.
Halloween stuff to life. So I sent, in preparation for this, I sent up Morgan a couple like guideline questions to
Sure,
try to
like
get
interview
our.
questions. I should make us armchair Imagineer shirts.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
that would be really cute. And if you want your own, then you can
Yeah.
message the Etsy shop Neverland Navigation,
Yeah.
and there you can ask Morgan and I to make you an armchair Imagineer shirt, and you'll get it.
Yeah, or whatever you want.
Yeah, or whatever you want. That's why it's
That was
custom.
an unintentional plug.
Yeah, we just stumbled into it. That happens on Halloween. Haven't you seen the movies? The first one I asked Morgan was if you could pick one ride to spookify for Halloween in the same way that Haunted Mansion gets Haunted Mansion Holiday for Christmas in Disneyland, which ride would you pick and which spooky property would you choose to apply as an overlay? Did you think about this?
I did, and so I've got my one, and then I also wrote down a few like honorable mentions because the thing is, we at Walt Disney World don't have enough Halloween overlays, especially for the party.
Right.
Like I also think you could get away with doing it not just for the party, but if they wanted to, I've got.
You mean like during the day, all Halloween season?
I do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely have that in mind.
Disneyland has a few. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they've got Haunted Mansion Holiday, their Nightmare Before Christmas overlay at Haunted Mansion, and then they also have Monsters After Dark as their overlay to Guardians.
That's what I prefer, I think, is to have something where it's something that is available for all guests, whether they get the hard ticket thing or not, because
but
ride
then they do
overlays
have a few extras for the ride or the hard ticket.
Right. So they even get their own special.
Yeah.
But the ride overlays here are so sparse.
So sparse.
They keep them all for the party.
Yeah.
Right. So what did you think? What did you have in mind?
So my big one would be Muppets Haunted Mansion.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea.
I just think Haunted Mansion is the like natural Halloween thing, but I don't necessarily. I mean, I do wish we could just have the same one they have in Disneyland because it is
Yes,
spectacular,
same. I think you mean spooktacular.
spooktacular. As a like kind of a backup, one of my ones that I thought of as like a you guys could do this for Halloween season without it
Right.
being a big thing would be to take Muppet Vision 3D.
Mm,
I don't know how much goes into. I'm sure a lot. I'm sure a lot
right.
goes into making the screen type like shows that we have, like Muppet Vision 3D and like Fill Her Magic and stuff like that. But it would be a no downtime switch.
Right, just
That
switch the film.
that's the biggest complaint about Haunted Mansion Holiday in Disneyland is that like the whole ride has to shut down for like a month while they switch it.
Yeah, and that is like a big deal,
It
especially
is a
in
big deal.
Florida with our massive capacity
Yeah.
situation that we've got going on here. I will say, I definitely think I don't even know what it is about Haunted Mansion that I think it's because in my mind I know for a fact that for special events they used to put people in the Haunted Mansion, and I always thought that was such a fun idea, but they stopped doing it for safety.
Uh huh.
But I would love
Like
to
they used to
see,
put people in pirates and they stopped doing it.
yeah,
Okay.
but I would love to see Haunted Mansion get some additional love like that. And I
Yeah.
think the Muppets bringing their charm and levity and silliness to the
Right.
Haunted Mansion makes a lot of sense, especially for the Disney approach to Halloween.
And I think the Muppets Haunted Mansion, the movie
Special?
special was well received.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought it was fun. It was definitely like a kooky little zany kind of adventure, but that's what the Muppets are here for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it definitely fit expectations
It's
nicely.
hard. It's hard because like I would love for it not to be the only Haunted Mansion option for 2 months, but that's what you'd have to do. So I don't know. But what did you think?
I went a different route. I should have thought more haunted. What would I like to do to the haunted mansion? Should have been the question that I asked myself. But instead, I thought, what would I like to see get spooky? And I guess the answer that I came up with was Big Thunder Mountain,
Okay.
because I would like it to get like a haunted mine
Mm.
type of overlay
Hmm.
during spooky season. I think projections on the walls and the cave scenes would be cool.
Yeah.
At the top of the lift hill, they could do a mist screen like they used to have in Pirates of the Caribbean, that had something on it, like a ghost
Ghost.
or something spooky
Yeah.
like that.
I love this idea.
That would be super fun. I also think new audio would be great to give, like, even a narration would be fun,
Sure.
from like your ghost locomotive engineer
Yeah,
or
yeah. I
whatever's
like this a
going
lot.
on, whatever the situation is. I won't write the script, but I think that is like haunted western mine
It makes
vibes.
sense. Yeah.
Sounds fun. I think there's a
I like
Knott's
yours
Berry
better
Farm
than mine.
thing that is similar to this, and that might
Yeah.
be like what is taking my brain in this direction. But I think the idea of like haunted mine would be fun.
Have you been on it?
No, I've
No.
never been to
I
Knott's
thought
Berry Farm.
it might be Dollywood.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, not that it
Yeah, there might
matters.
be something like this in another theme park, that might be giving me inspiration for this. But
Mm.
I think the idea of like haunted Western mine is a pretty established type of thing. There's been a lot of media about it, so it would be cool if Disney did their take on it with special effects, narration, music, that kind of thing, lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
be
I
cool.
like this a lot because Haunted Mansion already is a little Halloween. You know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah,
only already Halloween ride.
right.
So
That's
taking
fair.
a completely different one to spookify, I love. And then adding a few extras. Did you think of any more that you would think, oh, this is something that they could do for the party?
I I think that having Tom Sawyer's Island not have anything on it for the party is a waste.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it would be really cool if they could make that like, I don't know, the villain's hideaway or like
yeah,
some spooky Skull Island or something spooky like that, where you have to take this creepy boat across the water at
yeah,
night and the fog is rolling in on the island.
yeah.
But then, I don't know, even if it's just like a villain's like
Dance
dance party
party.
and food and stuff or whatever. At least that would be fun. Or maybe to um, appeal to a slightly older demographic, maybe you make that a no kids island.
Oh
You
wow,
know,
yeah, yeah.
that might be fun. I don't know if you'd want to like serve drinks and stuff, but maybe just,
Yeah.
have a little bit more of like top 40 music and
Yeah.
maybe slightly more spooky decorations and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
something
love
like
that.
that might be fun.
Yeah.
I just feel like Tom Sawyer's Island is already kind of spooky at night, for sure.
It definitely can be.
So I
Yeah.
feel like they should use it for the party. I think it would be fun. Maybe a safety issue. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't get paid to worry about that. So my answer is Tom Sawyer's Island.
All right. So my big overlay that would only cost them a few actors for a few hours
Oh,
idea was to do a Sanderson sisters go to the Carousel of Progress Mystery Science Theater 3000 situation.
oh my gosh, that sounds
Because
great.
they've lived through all, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I
they've
guess
been
they
there
weren't.
for it all.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
there before the
And they're
electricity.
funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they could, like, start off, like, up on stage, like, they got there accidentally, where are we? And then kind of,
right.
like, sit down and watch the show and make jokes.
At the beginning and the end, you could have actors, and then throughout the show, just you're thinking like narration from the overhead.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think that would be hysterically funny. Oh, and at one point, one of them could sneak by the window because there's a window.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that would be so fun. I love this idea.
Yeah, and that would breathe some life into Carousel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We love Carousel.
and it's not like a permanent change, so people
Yeah.
don't have to get up in arms. It's just something to
It's
sprinkle
not
a little.
a change at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is, but it's not. Yeah, it's not permanent at all. There's no.
I love that. Wow, and I bet nah, I was gonna say Country Bear Jamboree. You could probably just put some new songs in there and stuff. Maybe it's already spooky enough.
Maybe since they're about to change it, that's something that would make sense.
Oh yeah, sure. If they want to like
They used to do so many overlays for Country Bear Jamboree. They had a Christmas
summer,
version and a summer version.
no,
Yeah, but they said it was too expensive to change the songs and change the outfits. So I don't totally get that, but I don't. I'm not an accountant, so.
I can't. Yeah, me neither. I would like spooky country bears. Fun.
But any of the shows that have screens, it seems like something that you could make an adjustment and then no downtime.
Add Sleepy Hollow to Filler Magic.
Oh yes, exactly,
That would be fun.
exactly. Yeah,
That would be super fun.
yeah.
Yeah, Filler Magic is definitely. I feel like because
And
they
it
already
could
did
just
it
be adding a
with
segment.
Coco.
Yeah, taking out one segment and adding a segment.
Yeah, easy.
Easy. I agree.
That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to move on to our next little question here?
Sure.
So something we wanted to think about was Disney has been teasing at Destination D23. They continue to tease this Beyond Thunder Mountain
Yeah.
expansion to the Magic Kingdom, and one of the things at last year's D23 that was mentioned as a potential inclusion of that would be a villains themed area,
Right.
which is also
This has got to
something.
be what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's something that's been kicked around amongst fans for decades. So, what, Morgan, if you were to have in your mind a villain's land, what are some things that are conjured to your
Do you want to just
vision?
go kind of back and forth?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the first thing I put was a Hades boat ride because Hades is my favorite villain.
Oh,
He could be telling jokes.
I love this. Wow, yeah.
I don't know the specifics. It'd have to. I mean, there's the water.
Yeah, the river Styx.
Yeah, exactly.
Hades underworld river adventure or something. Yeah.
There'd have to be something that happened
Hmm.
other than that you wound up in the river.
There's got to be stakes.
Yeah.
Not ham steaks. I mean, like, there's gotta be tension. Maybe Hades, we're on the river, and if we get to the end of the river, Hades is gonna get us, and our souls are gonna get taken,
Right.
and the fates are gonna cut our soul with the string. You know what I'm talking about? They could be an animatronic.
Right.
That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
And then Hercules comes and saves us.
I wonder if in Villain's Land we get rescued from these situations, or if
no.
we love the villains, we want to be part of their world.
Right.
Huh.
Oh. Especially Ursula. Right. Okay, got it. Hey.
You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. Like,
Because
maybe there's not a happy
We
ending.
all have love for these villains.
Yeah.
Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a fun idea, like to have the underworld boat ride. Could be
Yeah,
cold in there.
yeah.
I like it.
Foggy for sure.
Yeah, that's a good. I had the hardest time, I think, trying to think of attractions.
Yeah.
Other stuff came like I thought I knew, but when it came to attractions, what I came up with was a Maleficent roller coaster. A Maleficent, like a Sleeping Beauty, I
Yeah.
guess, roller
Yeah,
coaster.
I wrote down Maleficent Flying Adventure, but like
Ooh,
same bit.
flying.
You could do that as a roller coaster or as something like Pandora.
Mm. Yeah, like oh, Flight of Passage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get the
the
vibe.
only ride in Pandora.
The only ride worth
Sorry.
riding in Pandora. Um, yeah, the Maleficent thing that I had in my mind was like, you know how in Sleeping Beauty they have that forest with the different shaped trees, and it's pretty. You, if you think of the Sleeping Beauty forest, you can imagine it because the trees are all angular and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, I think it would be cool to have some type of recreation of that, along with the big cliffs where they have their battle between Prince Philip and Maleficent. And in my mind, it's like it's swerving through all the trees, and then you go up the spire where the cliffs are at, and then you come face to face with
Is it
Dragon
outside?
Maleficent.
No, it's like Guardians.
I'm thinking like it's almost like an Expedition Everest situation
Ah,
where
like
you're,
partially.
yeah, you're outside from the beginning, and then you wind into the
Yeah,
cliff side, and then when you go in, that's where the big evil Maleficent dragon is at.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that would be a thought for an attraction themed to a villain that comes to mind. I like having Hades though. I think he's one of the villains that they don't do enough with.
Yeah,
We
they
get a
do
lot of
some, but yeah,
Maleficent,
yeah.
but Hades, I think he's a little bit more.
He's harder to do it as a character that you see. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
had a part in the not so scary villains, whatever you said it was called.
yeah,
I'm calling it the Hocus Pocus show.
yeah,
But the character looks a little weird.
yeah.
You remember how? Yeah,
I do.
it's a hard one to do because flames for a head.
He would probably be, if you think about the Ursula animatronic on the Little Mermaid ride, though, maybe he'd be better as an animatronic.
Maybe, yeah, or it could be his ride and you hear him but you don't see him, or you see him at like as a kind of projection or a screen.
Mm.
Although a lot of the stuff, of course, would not be screen because we don't love a just screen, right?
But I could definitely, I would love to see like a projection effect or something, a depth effect of the caverns of like the flowing like bones and
Yes,
souls and stuff.
yes.
That would be so
Like
cool.
projected onto the water.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
exactly.
would be
That's
amazing.
exactly what I was thinking. And then Pain and Panic would make great animatronics. Like they would get them spot on.
Yeah, they honestly, I think them providing like comedy throughout the
Yeah.
journey
Although
would
he's
be.
funny too.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't need help for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely need the Hades animatronic or whatever it ends up projection, whatever, being to do the fire head thing
Yeah.
that Hades does.
Yeah. That's why I think it would need to be a projection or a screen of some sort.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. I love that.
So you put restaurants, but my first thought was that we would need a few like cart situations
Sure.
with some of the iconic villain food. Like
Like,
like the poison apple
love it.
and the spinach puffs.
From Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, if Yzma and Kronk are going to get representation
Yeah.
out of
You
this
want more than a food cart?
situation, then I'm fine with a food cart.
Oh, you
That's
are.
fine.
Okay.
Well, like in my mind, if I guess as an attraction, you could do the wrong lever
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so
roller
right.
coaster.
Yes.
That seems like it would be fun. But is Emperor's New Groove a relevant enough, financially successful enough
I don't know.
property for Disney to build a
I
full
hope
scale
so,
roller coaster?
but I doubt it. But I hope so.
Mm.
I don't know. Everybody I know loves it.
Yeah, it definitely is a favorite of like a certain like generation for sure.
Yeah, and
I grew up with it
I'm
on VHS and I watched it
right.
religiously.
That's what I'm saying. But we were kids when it came out, so I wonder if they like essentially re-released it, which wouldn't work really in today the way that movies work today. But I wonder if it would get more love.
If they, yeah, or if
Or
they
maybe
do a
if they're
live
getting,
action.
yeah, well, I'm over the live action. I'm just over
Anything
it.
but that.
Um, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. But uh, I wonder if it makes money in other ways now in a way that it didn't make money to begin with. Like, I do see a lot of merch and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely cashes in on that 90s nostalgia merch.
Yes.
Anytime they do like a throwback line,
Yeah.
you see Cusco up in
I
there.
think it would be a great ride. I hadn't even thought about it. You're a genius. But also, spinach puff cart.
I kind of love the idea of a cart with and like an animatronic. You know how you can see.
Or a
Um,
costume character for Kronk, don't you
oh
think?
yeah, that's actually a great idea. He should hold the tray that you can sample from
Yeah.
outside. That would be great. I love this. Add some humor to the villain's land.
Yeah.
Love it. Great idea. Um, any other carts other than the apple and the spinach puff?
No, I put a Hades barbecue restaurant.
Flame grilled.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Love it. Perfect. No
Um,
brainer. I have on here Ursula and Ursula's seafood
I wrote
restaurant.
that down and then erased it because I was like, I pictured her grabbing one of the like snail things and popping it in her mouth, and I'm like, oh no,
Ugh,
this is not appetizing.
no, it's not.
But you're right.
So they would have to, yeah. I wouldn't include any of that. I
Forget about that.
forget about that. Forget about that. I think it would be cool to set it in her like lair,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Flotsam and Jetsam have to have a role in this somehow. Whether they're like you can see them swimming above you.
Yeah.
I also would definitely love a restaurant that does the thing they do in the Finding Nemo queue, which is they shine light down from the ceiling
Yeah.
that makes it look like you're under the
I
ocean,
love it.
and it's beautiful. And I
Yeah.
want that to be in a restaurant so I
Yeah.
could eat in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be cool.
Is it weird to eat seafood when there's seafood?
I think that would be the gag of
Or
this is like she's killing the fish. Like that's her whole vibe is that she kills the ocean creatures, and then you get to eat them.
Right.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I feel like it would also be fun if Ursula could come out and do her musical number or something. I don't know how that would work, but
stage show.
yeah, have a little. Just put the animatronic from the ride up there, and that would be fun.
I also think a stage show, like a dinner type show that's Dr. Facilier's could work in a New Orleans way, since we're not getting that apparently by Tiana's.
Right.
They, on one of the boats we went on, I can't remember which one of the Disney Cruise Line boats we went on, they had a Dr. Facilier's bar.
Cool.
And it was very cool. Very subtle, but cool. But then if you had like a jazz trio kind of, you know what I mean? It would just really add to the experience.
The whole movie is all jazzy.
Yeah.
That definitely. I could see that. Or at least give him a shop of whatever.
Oh, like a magic shop?
Voodoo shop.
Yeah, voodoo. Yeah.
Isn't that what he's
Yes, totally. But like you can't be selling voodoo dolls.
Oh no, nothing like I'm thinking like a deck of cards.
Like a magic shop, but call it a voodoo shop. Yeah, I like it.
Or honestly, that I feel like that concept could totally work as a restaurant too, because like there's a style of cooking inherently attached.
Yes, exactly.
To the culture,
exactly.
So it kind of just does it itself.
Yeah, even though you don't really see him doing. He could serve frog legs.
Now that is
He's the
cool.
bad guy. He's the bad
guy. Duh. Also, you were saying like a show. I definitely think there has to be a show.
Yeah, I know, but they've got the villain. The villain show is like their thing everywhere.
What do you mean?
Well, Fantasmic is a villain show. You know what I mean?
Oh,
the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom, whatever it is, whenever it changes so often, always has a villain element, right?
Right. Yes. In my mind, I am more thinking in the vein of like a live performance.
Yeah.
Which I think
But don't you think that's kind of what Fantasmic is?
No, because they don't. First of all, the villains don't have any songs in Fantasmic.
Okay, fair.
Which is a problem.
Well, and the villains could be the good guys in this. Not the good guys.
The star.
Yeah, you understand them. You see where they're
coming from. Yeah.
Like in Cruella.
There was a. Oh yeah. Oh, you know who should have something in this Cruella in that
Emma Stone.
Yeah, and that like to I didn't they do that right now at Disneyland at Oogie Boogie Bash? The Cruella that you meet is that Cruella.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Oh
not the
wow.
you come into her fashion little warehouse. I don't know.
Oh, there's a good store too.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Cruella's. Yeah, but
Yeah,
a fashion
fashion.
store. Oh, that's a great idea. Write this down. That's great. But what used to be in Hollywood Studios next to Rock and Roller Coaster was this really short-lived little dinner. Not dinner, just a
Yeah,
short-lived cabaret
I
experience
cannot even
called
believe I
Club
never even
Villain.
heard about this until you told me.
Yeah,
This sounds amazing.
and
I
it
wish I could
was
go back in time to go
me
to.
too, me too. But it was this like cabaret where each of the villains got their own little musical number and did a little performance. And I think that that type of thing would be so well received because it also has a little bit of the vibes of House of Mouse, where
Yes.
there's all that crossover for a show type of energy. And I think that's really well enjoyed by.
House of Mouse is so awesome.
Now that's underrated.
Hmm
I loved House of Mouse.
I'm sure our viewers and listeners could find that to watch, right? Do you think it's on
Yeah.
Disney Plus?
Oh, I don't know actually. I don't
If
think it
not, you could certainly YouTube it. It's a fun cartoon.
worth the watch. At least watch the intro because I think the intro is super fun.
Yeah.
It's when everybody's packing into the theater, getting ready for the show
Yeah.
to start. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Anyway, that didn't last very long, but I would love to
I
see
wonder
something like
why.
that. But I would love to see it for this idea, this Villains Land thing, to be a little bit more in world, I guess, where like the Hollywood Studios one could just kind of be villains themed and razzle dazzle because it's in
Hmm
Hollywood and that is what it is. But I feel like this would need to be like Oogie Boogie is putting together a sinister show type of thing, and he spins the
Yes.
wheel and it lands on a different villain and they come do their thing.
Yes.
Almost similar in format to this Halloween party show with the Sanderson sisters, but I want to see live singing and characters in costume and, just elevate the situation a little bit.
Yeah.
Have one of the villains be the host of the whole thing and,
Right.
call it a thing. And if you want to make it, like a expensive dining combo and serve food there, then hey, do it like that cruise ship style where they have like one of those interactive
Yeah.
meals.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to do in a theme park too.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
I feel like it really that type of experience, and you've done them, so you can speak to this. Really
Yes.
like involves the guest in another level.
Yes, it's shocking that this isn't something that is available in the parks
Yeah,
because a they could charge more. I know we as the guests don't want to think about
we
that
don't want
aspect,
that. Yeah,
but like it's not just dinner in a themed area. It's basically dinner and a show.
right.
Yeah.
You get a lot for
Yeah.
that situation. I think they could make a lot of money off of it, and I think villains would be a good concept for it because you already have really strong recognizable songs, characters. There's stuff that people want to see.
Right.
People want to see Poor Unfortunate Souls,
Uh-huh.
Be Prepared, Friends on the Other Side, Cruella Deville, all in a
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
All right, so there's some entertainment for the Villains Land. Was there anything else that you had in mind, or are you ready for the next question?
I put down a Cruella Deville type car chase situation
Ooh, that's
because I
almost
love her car.
her. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
her car,
yeah. But I don't
an
know.
iconic part of her branding.
Yeah, yeah. But I didn't really go past that on thinking about how that would play out.
I'm picturing like Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin type of ride
Yeah.
situation
Yeah,
where there's like a physically built set and ride vehicles that look like cars, and you go on like a whirlwind adventure and you get to see a bunch of the puppies. You're after
Yeah.
the puppies. That'd be super fun.
yeah. That would be super fun. Yeah.
And then the last scene, you could go past their apartment and they're singing the song.
Right.
Yeah, I could picture this.
And then I feel like Queen of Hearts would be a good one that you could base a ride off of.
You totally could. Or I would even take, I believe it's in Disneyland Paris. Maybe it's one of the Asian parks. They have the hedge maze
Oh, cool.
from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I think that would be super cool for the Villain's Land.
Yeah.
Almost in a Moana Journey of Water type of way, where it's just a cool little walkthrough experience.
Yeah.
It's something to give people to do other than standing in a line for a ride, spending money for food or
Sure.
shopping. I like stuff where you can just go and do it, and I think that would be a
Cool places to hang out. Yeah.
yeah, cool places to hang out.
Yeah. I
Totally.
like it too. Did you have anything else?
No, those are kind of my main ideas for that, but we do have another question on here that we can get to.
Yeah.
Um, of the villains, or I'm sorry, I skipped one. Could you imagine a spooky parade during Halloween season at Magic Kingdom? And I left off of this question, but I meant like during operating hours, not just a Halloween party thing, but
Oh.
like if it's Halloween time and we're doing a parade, could you picture like a seasonal parade in the Magic Kingdom, and which villains would you like to see?
You mean a villains parade?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that I think that that would be completely easy and popular. So this isn't having to do with the villains land then, right?
No, this
Okay.
is kind of if apart from that, well, if they do the villains land, this would be a great
Segue.
way to ring it in.
Yeah, like it starts there.
Yeah.
Which is where I think it would naturally start anyway.
Come to our right beyond Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
Which is where they start the parade
Right,
now.
exactly.
Oh, I wonder if building there will change where the parade routes
Yeah,
are.
I bet it'll go through
Villains
anything.
Land. Oh yeah, that probably because that's where the parade warehouse is anyway. For villains for a villains parade, it would be cool if to open the villains land, the villains came to take over Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
On this parade.
Oh, I like that.
Villains
I like that a
on
lot.
parade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Who would you want to see? Who are your all stars?
I mean, Hades is my all star. Like all of them. I'm good with like all of them.
This is a
Except
great
for the
way.
one from Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I know Tyler likes him.
Claude Frollo. He definitely gets a number in the cabaret.
Yeah.
He can come out and sing Hellfire, and then it's over.
Yeah.
No more of him.
He's too much of a creep for me.
He's not a Disney villain. He's like
a real life villain.
Yeah,
he
exactly. Crosses the line.
Exactly. It's
actually like schemes you out.
Exactly. 100%. Where the other ones, they're like bad in a fun way.
Right. Gaston is like, you shouldn't read, you're a girl.
Right.
And like, oh right, that's the villain. But Paul Frollo is like, I'm a man of God. It's very serious.
I'm gonna do what I want.
Yeah, I'm down for him singing Hellfire. I guess he can be a walk around character on the parade. That's fine. You don't get a float. Unless they're building the entire Notre Dame Cathedral as a float. Fine. But short of that, and it's on fire. Okay. All right, hold on. We're coming around. No, I don't. Yeah, he definitely freaks me out. But a parade is a good opportunity where you have big showcases like the float, and you can give people minor roles. Yeah. Like they're on a little cart, or they're walking around in a group of villains,
right?
Or whatever.
So you could really hit like most of them.
Exactly. So even if they don't have a presence in Villains Land, at least they get to be in the villains on parade situation.
Some of the villains, especially in the newer movies, are really like almost questionable though.
Like, are you a villain? Are you not a villain?
Yeah, like, well, that's not a great example. But and some of the newer ones don't really have like a character that's a villain.
Yeah, that's true. But
that was true of Bambi too, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you could have a hunter.
There are some more recent villains though. Dr. Facilier could totally have a float. Right. Mother Gothel could totally have a float.
What do you think about Ernesto de la Cruz?
I think he's totally a villain.
Yeah,
bad dude. And he could be in the cabaret, or at least be. It would be cool if he could have, a float where he's on that big stage singing the "Remember Me" spooky song. He'd be great in a parade. Well, when he sings it, it's kind of scary. It's supposed to be a little like sinister.
Okay, all right.
I also think, in my brain, I don't know why, but I think the one that I would want to see the most would be Scar.
Yeah.
Because I would want to see like Pride Rock when it's devastated, and there are hyenas on the sides of it, and there's bones on the bottom. You know what I mean? I think that would translate.
Would be a fun,
so well and he could be, I don't know, an animatronic or a puppet or something
Yeah,
on
probably
the
a
top.
puppet if it's a parade, right?
Right, like a puppet on the top of the
Yeah.
Pride Rock and
And that's
inside
one of the
Pride Rock.
best villain songs.
Yeah, and he'd have to have the song. Totally.
Right.
Absolutely. I also thought I shared in your desire to have a Hades float, and I think it would be fun if, like, a statue or whatever, Pain and Panic, were holding up one of those things that you carry people on, and Hades was just like lounging on it
Oh,
and
yeah.
like waving down
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff. I think that would be in character for him.
Yeah.
But I need him to have a microphone
To do jokes?
to do crowd work and jokes because I think that's his whole
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
I would need him to be mic'd 100%.
Sure, yeah.
So they need to make that
That would be cool. Again, hard costume to pull off, but yeah.
happen. That is tough. And I know that also hits another one of your sensitivities,
Yes,
which
exactly. I
is
was just
crowd
thinking,
participation.
yes, yes. He would be the perfect, like, to make fun of some people in the crowd.
Yeah.
For, like, laughs. And he's a definite insult comedian, but
Right.
that would make me, like...
But it wouldn't ever be personal. It would be like people in Mickey ears, and he'd be like, oh, look, we got a couple rats over here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I would hope that moving forward, that would be the type of interaction.
The last time I went to Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, they were giving some guy a hard time for being bald. I was like, this isn't cool.
That's kind of like bullying.
That is bullying.
What kind of message are we trying to send here, Disney? Yeah, I don't love that.
No, I don't either.
I don't want Hades making jokes about people's actual physical appearances.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I don't need a complex from going to Disney World.
I don't need a panic attack at Walt Disney World. Okay, so we can definitely see this parade thing happening. I love that.
Absolutely.
And this one last thing here, I think that will generate quite a bit of... Or I've got two more. Oh, I did which villain most deserves a ride.
And I think you guys know what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
Hades. Okay.
Yes, we already discussed this. My Maleficent ride.
Yeah.
It's still my choice.
Yeah.
I would love to see this Hades ride, though, especially if it has a drop.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs
drop into the underworld.
Ooh. Yeah. I love that.
That could be when they cut the thing, and then you go down. The thread, the
I love this.
Yeah.
This would be a really good ride. Hey, they need to give Hades a song.
I know. I know.
They're making a Hercules musical right now that I'm very excited about, and I believe Hades has a song in it. So that's pretty cool. I know the Broadway songs don't end up having much relevance in really anywhere other than Broadway, but for my own personal...
Is that what they're doing? They're making a Broadway?
They're also making a Broadway musical.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the movie that we've been hearing about for years.
See, this always happens. They make a Broadway adaptation, and they write new songs for it, and then they do a live-action remake, and they never use any of the Broadway songs. They always write new songs for the remakes so that they're Oscar eligible, because they're new, and they're hoping to get a nod for Best Original song written for visual media is always the one they're going for. And they've never done it with one of the remakes. I think they're also maybe hoping for special effects nominations, which maybe they got for The Lion King or something. I don't know.
Please stop doing live action.
But independent of that, they are making a Hercules musical, and we'll get some new music.
Maybe people that didn't grow up on these movies animated don't mind the live action as much.
I actually had a lot of fun watching the live action Little Mermaid because to me, I went. This sounds.
I like
awful.
live action Aladdin, but that's the only one I like.
I went into it with the energy of like, I'm about to watch a children's play of The Little Mermaid. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, but that's really not fair.
Like sub-basement expectations, and then whatever you get, you're like, oh, great.
Okay.
Well, what else am I gonna do? I'm gonna watch the movie. I might as well try to enjoy it. I will say some of them are like the Beauty and the Beast one. I can never watch because I hate the singing, the auto-tuned like singing in it. It really drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's very noticeable to me.
Yeah, there were a bunch of problems. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to go down this again. Yes, I agree. But definitely for rides, those are good ideas. Is there a spooky Disney movie you think should get its own land, and where would you put it?
Yes, and then after that, I have a answer to a question you didn't ask.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. the spooky Disney movie that I think should get a land is Nightmare Before Christmas.
I agree.
Yeah, I figured. And that's not even like my favorite movie, but it just does deserve it. You know what I mean? It's so big.
Hmm.
The ride in Disneyland is amazing when he does the show at Not So Scary. That's amazing. So yeah, I think a whole land would make sense.
They have done a pretty good job of interpreting this movie for the theme
I
parks.
don't know about food in this land though. Now that I think about
I will say,
it, Christmas food.
okay,
I
yes.
guess.
Who's baking Christmas cookies? Fun. I like it. Or just you can have like a candy, Halloween candy
Yeah.
store, shop,
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah. There's bugs and stuff. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like for a sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be tough. But as far as interpreting the movie goes, the only thing that I haven't liked that they've done is the Jack and Sally meet and greet.
Yeah.
I think Jack. I don't get
Sally looks great.
I don't get down with Jack's appearance.
I agree. I agree.
I don't
It's
like it.
weird. Yeah.
I wish it were an articulated puppet or animatronic that you could stand next to.
Yeah.
I think that would be better. Kind of like how you can meet BB-8, but he kind of just stands on his little podium and you get next to him and take a picture. How
Yeah.
that used to happen in Launch Bay.
Right.
I'd be happy if that were Jack. And they were like, don't touch him, don't get too close to him, but stand here and take a picture. At least the picture would be cool.
Yeah.
Jack looks crazy right now.
I agree. I agree.
You know? So I think that could use a little workshopping. But other than that, I think I would love to see a Halloween town that has the same amount of extreme detail put into it as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Would you do Halloween Town and not Christmas?
I would do Halloween.
Okay,
Would you do
I guess,
Christmas
of course.
Town?
But I guess that makes.
Oh.
I think I would do both. But and the tree, like in the middle.
How can we steal the Universal Studios model of having one land and two parks
Yeah.
and connect them with
You just walk through a tree, right? So that won't work.
with a walkthrough or with a Jack Slay experience, perhaps? I don't know. I'm trying to whatever. But I would love to see them attack it with like the detail
Yeah.
of one of the more.
I mean, not all lands have restaurants, so
Oh, as far as restaurants go,
it's just going back to that.
right?
If you did Halloween Town, then it couldn't be Christmas food, so
I couldn't.
it would be just candy.
I couldn't. I didn't think enough about the restaurant situation to come up with.
Yeah, they could come up with something, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they're. Oh, or you could do. So you know, Dr. Finkelstein, is that his name?
I don't know.
He's the Sally's inventor, the spooky guy
Okay.
who lives in the tower with the lab. He could have like a little potions situation.
Right.
I don't
Drinks.
I don't know if that probably doesn't translate to food, but maybe like a bar or like a non-alcoholic bar where
Yeah.
you like pour potions and stuff. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And maybe they could do like a theme thing where he's concocted strange,
Yeah.
sewn together creations, but they just taste really good.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd
For
be
sure.
fun.
Yeah. I like all of the park stuff that they've done with this movie. I like the park stuff that they've done with this movie more than I like the movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do love this movie. It is really dear to me. So I think I would love to see them take the approach that they're taking to the frozen lands that they're
Yeah.
making around the world, where they're building these sprawling recreations of the movie. I want to see the fountain. I want to see the town theater. I
Right.
want to see the mayor
I want to see
and his
Zero.
car.
How would they make that work?
Zero. I don't know. They'll have him on one of those really stiff leashes. Oh no! During the meet and greet, he'll be in the photo.
I want him flying around the park.
Oh, a
The
drone,
land.
a drone, a
A
drone,
drone.
a drone.
Oh, yeah. They
We
can
figured it
do
out.
They just don't.
Oh, every night we've cracked the code. Every night in Halloween Town, drone Jack
Zero.
Skellington
Oh.
and drone Zero pulling the sleigh
Oh.
fly over the land
Wow.
and say, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that would be great.
That would be cool.
They built a drone for Galaxy's Edge,
Yeah.
and they used it one time.
I don't know. Do you know what went wrong? I don't know why they keep giving
Nothing
up
went
on
wrong.
drones.
They
Yeah,
only
they just
used
keep
it for
giving.
the opening.
Yeah, weird. Why?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know what their problem is, but I would love to see more drone use. And I feel like this would be like a zero drone would be
amazing.
so amazing, and they definitely have to incorporate his little personality into the
Yeah,
movements and stuff. But also there could be cool walk around characters in this.
yeah,
That would be awesome. Maybe some actual characters like in costumes, but also maybe some of that like walk around creature technology, like Lucky the dinosaur and stuff. That would be cool.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they could have the mayor with his like changing
The mayor's what
faces.
I was thinking too.
If they could pull that off, that would be so cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Or even if they just did like a situation where his face is a screen and it flips around, you know
yeah.
what I mean? I think seeing that in real life would be, I think people would want to see that all times of the year just because
Absolutely.
that movie is so like prevalent in the cultural
Yes, I agree.
landscape.
Yeah, I. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, and you see the shirts and stuff like that all year
And
long.
talk about merchandise
Yes, exactly,
sales. I mean,
exactly.
this is the king of merchandise. People go wild for
Hmm.
anything with these characters on it. So definitely would make them a bunch of money
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
I also would love to see them figure out a way to recreate that spiral hill situation that is so iconic to the
yeah.
movie. Whether you could like take a photo on it or there's like a walkthrough situation. I don't know.
Or
But
even like in the background, like and using forced perspective.
oh yeah, as like a backdrop of the land,
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
yeah.
I definitely think they would have to incorporate that imagery somewhere because
I agree.
it's so what I think
Iconic.
of when I think of the movie, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas are definitely our big winners for this. If you is there any I feel like they're using the Hocus Pocus IP perfectly. I don't even want anything else.
no, no,
I think
yeah,
they've reached the peak of what they can do with it.
yeah. They do they pull Hocus Pocus out hard around Halloween, and I think that that's enough.
Yeah, and the merchandise is always
It's
cute,
good.
and the
Yeah, the
stage
show is
show is
great.
always fantastic.
Yeah,
So they're
and
doing
the
a
movie
great
that
job.
came out last year, the
Oh,
second that
Hocus Pocus 2.
was really good. I don't know how well it did.
I don't think it
Probably better than the first one because of the poor timing of the first one.
right. Um, I don't know about the impact of it, but I think we enjoyed it as like a silly family Halloween
See, Hocus Pocus, this is what I was thinking of. Hocus Pocus, the first one, did really, really poorly in the box office,
movie. Right.
but then got a cult following
Yes.
over the years and decades, and now they're using it a lot, and that's kind of what I think about Emperor's New Groove.
I hope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen like memes and stuff from it.
Yeah.
So I think people
No. Yeah.
and the wrong lever thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everybody knows about that.
Yeah. Exactly. I have one more little snippet of a thing to mention that
I
I would
want to
love.
hear it.
I would love it if they would do a second Halloween party location like they're doing this year with
Oh,
Christmas
yes.
at Hollywood Studios.
Ooh.
And that almost seems unfair because that is where they're doing this secondary Christmas party location. But I think that the show space for Phantasmic would
Mhm.
lend itself so beautifully, especially for people that can't see usually, to do all of those shows.
Yeah, to do like a villains or a Halloween
show.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or two.
Or
know what I
even
mean?
just a scarier Halloween Phantasmic
Yeah.
in that
Yes.
space would be
Yes,
so
exactly.
cool. Oh, I love that idea. And also, you could do like up and down, up and down. I love. I never thought about this before. I love it. Up and down Hollywood Boulevard, you can have like people walking around as classic Hollywood
Yes.
villains,
Yeah.
like the Wicked Witch of the West
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be
that would be amazing.
incredible.
They already have Tower of Terror, which is kind of like the Hollywood Studios spooky version, like of Haunted Mansion. You know what I mean? Like I feel like those are equally spooky and lend themselves to Halloween.
And that could be the anchor for your whole, Halloween pageantry.
Yeah.
Slap that on everything.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you have some opportunities to do some ride overlays, like with Muppets. Muppets 3D, you could kind of make into it. Again, maybe it took 10 years to make the first Muppets, and I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. But it can't be right because they made used to make a weekly show, didn't they?
Well, yes, the first Muppet Vision 3D was like a huge
Uh
production,
huh.
and the filming of it was intense because they had to figure out new ways to capture the Muppets without being seen that they hadn't figured out before.
Okay,
But
but now,
it's not the 80s
right,
anymore.
right,
Now they could very easily even digitally create some type of Muppet special to put
yeah,
in there for a short time.
yeah.
And I feel like Star Tours, they could just do a scary Star Wars
Yeah,
ride in there
I
would be
thought
super
about that.
fun.
Yeah, I mean, they do sell some Star Wars Halloween merch.
Hmm.
Bailey has a hoodie that's a Halloween Star Wars. There's even a specific Halloween droid. So
Right.
there are places to put. You know what I mean?
Kylo Ren could feature heavily in some Star Wars
Yeah,
Halloween stuff because he's a big spooky villain.
he sure is.
So
Yeah,
there you go. But yeah, I feel
you
like
could have
Hollywood
Zurg
Studios.
walking around Toy Story Land,
What a
or
good
you could.
idea.
Yeah, I guess you would have to do all of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Zurg.
Um.
I love the idea of having Zurg there. Even if it's like a meet and greet or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's so fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things you could do to Toy Story Land, and I'm sure there are.
You could have Hans take over the Frozen sing along.
Yeah,
Just for fun.
that's one where the bad guy. He's a bad guy. It's a little not a traditional bad guy.
Even if it's just when they get to that point of the movie where they figure out he's the bad guy, he comes out and tries to tell you his version of
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Whatever. I think there are so many things in Hollywood studios
uh-huh.
that can be easily adapted.
Yeah, and even Runaway Railway is so much screens that you could switch a few things around. I mean,
Yeah, put some spooky stuff
but
in
even if
there.
you didn't, you know what I mean? Even if you really like they do in Magic Kingdom, only did change one or two things, but then
Yeah,
had the shows in where Phantasmic is, and then had like definitely some trick or treating up and down these streets,
a
these iconic
scary
streets.
yes.
Yeah,
Trick or treating up and down the Hollywood streets would be so fun.
yeah.
I wish they still had the streets of America because
Oh,
that would
that
be
would be
ultimate trick or
right.
treating. But also, I had an idea and it totally left me. Oh, they could do a projection show on the Tower of Terror,
Yes.
like they do for Christmas.
Yeah.
That would be for Halloween. They could make it look like a big spooky,
Or
even more spooky.
they do that to some effect on the I want to say the Great Movie Ride.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
the
that's
Chinese
just
theater.
my brain is gonna
Yeah,
keep that there.
yeah,
Yeah, the
seriously.
Chinese theater.
Yeah, they could do a Halloween and pyrotechnic show there
Yeah,
too. Bam,
right.
three shows
Yeah,
right there for you,
right.
just like Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? And they can always
And
do
they have
something.
more rides that are well, that might not be true. They have a lot of like e-ticket rides that you've got to wait for hours to get on. So that would be another like a good opportunity for people that not us. We don't really get on rides unless they've got an overlay, right? I mean,
Right.
you have before, huh?
Yeah, like
We almost got on Mine Train just because it was a 15-minute wait.
that's honestly the one that Mine Train and Peter Pan. I almost never get to ride.
Yeah.
So I would during the Halloween party.
Yeah, and it would be like that for like Rise of Resistance, and Tower of Terror, and
Right.
Rock and Roller Coaster, like all of these big rides that are hard to
Rock and
even
Roller.
Runaway Railways.
Yeah. Rock and Roller Coaster needs a Halloween overlay.
Yeah.
Who do we get in there? Meatloaf, Rob Zombie.
Yeah, it gets taken over. The concert gets
hijacked.
Yeah, the concert. But yeah.
That's fine. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's spooky. I don't
But
know.
yeah, I'd love a second party in a different location.
That's a really good idea.
I actually think that location would be better than Magic Kingdom.
I do too. Most of Magic Kingdom does not feel very Halloween.
Right. And they're the only ones that do anything, but like also I just feel like there's more places for shows and stuff. You know what I mean?
And you can easily like stick stuff
yeah
on.
And they used to do parades in Hollywood Studios, so it's not impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to do parades in Hollywood studios every time a new Disney animated
I know,
movie
right?
came out. Every
Yeah,
summer there was a new parade.
yeah,
That kind of ended with Frozen. They did Summer of Frozen there. They got a parade for that, and then that was kind of it.
yeah,
I miss parades there.
yeah.
Let me tell you what I don't miss. The spookiest thing of all is walking down the middle of Hollywood Boulevard and hearing the Star Wars music start up, and those stormtroopers are filling the streets, telling you to get out of the
And you're
way.
stuck, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
gone but not forgotten. All right, well that's about gonna be it for time. But that was a fun discussion about Halloween stuff that we feel like could fit spookily into the park. If you have ideas for something like that, then we would love to hear them online.
Yeah. Send us a message.
Yeah, on Instagram and TikTok, we're at Neverland Navco. We also have a Facebook page, Neverland Navigation Co. And we have a visual version of the podcast as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, we have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Neverland Navigation Co. Sorry, I gave Morgan the same difficult one twice in a row.
I didn't know if you were giving that to me, sorry.
Oh, my bad.
The Etsy store, I'll just go then.
Perfect.
The Etsy store is called Neverland Navigation. And you can also just check out our website that has links to all this stuff if you can't remember, like sometimes I can't remember which is which, and that's neverlandnavigation.co.
Right. And if you're looking for fun family matching shirts to go into the parks for one of these parties, either Halloween or Christmas coming up, then the Neverland Navigation Shop is a great place to place a custom order for your family where you can pick out designs and send ideas and have somebody, work with you on a t-shirt design and
Yeah,
stuff.
I had one of my favorite customers. She comes to me a lot. Asked for she wanted a shirt that like conveyed Halloween time and their 10-year wedding anniversary. So, and that's a tall order.
Tall
because
order.
Those two things don't really go together. But we created a design that had like the castle and bats and showed that it was Halloween and a pumpkin patch all around. And then Mickey and Minnie in their little car driving in, and it was very cute, very fun, very fun.
That's if you are looking for that level of creativity in your t-shirt shop, then the Neverland Navigation shop on Etsy is the place for you.
I love a challenge.
And the t-shirts are soft. And that's a big deal for me.
Yeah.
All right, well, happy trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And until the next time that we spook, we'll see you on our next adventure.
Bye.
Goodbye.